Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hope you all having a great weekend and starting the weekend. Today is my freaking Sunday. Go back to work tomorrow. And I'm here giving you a live. Yes, it's long overdue of some topics. Depending on how many people come in and interact with me. If not, I'm just gonna make this quick as possible. Because I really want this to be an interactive thing and not me just talking and nobody coming in. So this live would have been had done yesterday. But we watched the verses yesterday, and so I wanted to say, let's watch the verses instead of doing a live. So I want to do a live when nobody comes through. So you see the thumbnail. We're gonna talk about some different topics that came on social media. Give my input on it. Tell you how I feel about these things, and then get out of here and enjoy the rest of my Friday night. Hey, shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful like diamond in the sky. Listen, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. All right, let's talk about some things before I talk about the topics. Let's talk about the verses. So yes, I watched the verses last night on my Discord channel. So those who came through, thank you for coming through and watching with me. And it's between Tyrese and Tank. It was R&B for the ladies, as they kept saying, just for the ladies and night. And it's great to have this nostalgia of this music because we grew up listening to Tank, grew up listening to Tyrese and their music. They had some good hits and whatnot. So it was interesting to see, and they're all good friends. They good friends. They cool with one another. They was in a group together with JY. So it was good to see them in their music interacting back and forth. First off, first with the verses. I don't know if it's on YouTube up yet because it was on YouTube last night. I don't know if they put it back up now so people to watch it. But they start off with some people talking. It was like a pre-game show to say what they was it a rehearsal, see the sound check, see people getting ready, people trying to see who they think they voting for. Tyrese going to put it or Tanko put a show a performance, and that's that. And then they open up with the host. I don't know the host's name, and I don't care because they was kind of boring. So I would say, get on the show, get on the show. Like, listen, we don't want to be sitting here waiting for y'all talking to us. Let's get with the program and give us the people. So yeah, Tyrese came out, then Tank came out. They both had their own side of things. They had sound check. They had background singers. So I would say, all right, this is gonna be getting on. Now I don't remember the lineup of those freaking songs and whatnot, which I don't really care. I'll go back later on to find out the lineup. But what I will say, how I feel about the whole performance. Tyreek and Tank both did a good job. I think they did a good job. Tyrese did a good job singing his songs. I feel like he could have did more with his catalog and whatnot and sing a little bit longer. He kept doing a lot of costume changes. I know he was doing a little jazz. They would take and both Tyreek and Tank was doing a little jazz with each other. So it was like the little moment with each other. I didn't feel like it was funny. I know some people probably was watching and said, "Oh, but I was sitting here watching it. I was like, okay, the joke is not landing. Y'all do little shots at each other. Cause friends bicker and it's nothing serious. But they just throwing shots at each other about, Tyree Tank was clowning Tyrese with his turtleneck. I don't know, maybe it was hot over there. Why he wearing a turtleneck on the stage when there's like a lot of lights and heat and stuff like that. He get hot. And then he sweating all the time in a towel. So the sweat in his body. I said maybe he shot wearing so that much clothes. Tank didn't do no costume changes. Tyrese did. I also feel like people were saying Tank do too much by bringing out other artists and singing the song. I mean, take some of his songs And also he brought up artists. When you do verses is just not only your songs that you sung, it's your catalog. So your catalog could also be songs you wrote. Catalog could be also songs you sung backup on and whatnot. Also songs that you sung. So Tank brought out, he did the Come Over, because he wrote the song, co-wrote the song, and I think he sang backup with the song. And other things, Regret with Latoya Luckett, and more songs, the one with Jamie Foxx, he did his song, and then Trey Songz, Bryson Tiller, Jay Valentine. He brought a lot of artists out to sing the songs that he wrote or he sung and it was great to see the catalog because it brought back memories of the music. It brought back memories. I was sitting here jamming a little bit, jamming with the songs and whatnot. The audience wasn't hype enough. The audience to me was dry as hell. It wasn't much screaming. It wasn't much thing going on. I ain't hearing nobody singing the songs and whatnot. So I was like, y'all is dry. They were mostly on their phone trying to film everything. I said, get off the phone and enjoy the experience. So, but I would say one thing, that crowd got really hype. No matter who was out there. I know the crowd got hyped when a lot of the artists was coming out, and they was getting hyped. Most of the features, the artists, but they was really hyped when Jamie came out. They was even more hyped for Jamie than they had hype for Tank and Tyrese, and they was the freaking headliners for these verses. I mean, they had more energy. They said the songs. They was interactive. They was screaming up the storm for Jamie Foxx. So I say, damn, maybe Jamie needs to do verses with dance with somebody because people was really hyped for Jamie more so than Tyrese and Tank. Because Tyrese and Tank, they were saying it being dry as fuck, dry as hell. I said, why are y'all so dry? Come on now. But with Jamie, they was on it. People also, listen, I don't know what's going on, but Tank lost a little bit with me when he brought out Trey Songz. We were here for this guy for so long, and plus people not really featuring him like that. So the fact that he came out and I think he did the remix song, that Tank song that he did in a remix version of it, it was off. To be honest, Trey sounded off. He sounded horrible. I don't know what happened to his voice, what was going on. It seemed like he had been training his voice for a while. And I don't know, he promoting some concert and everything soon or whatnot, but he act like it was his freaking tour. He up here on the stage doing this, trying to get the crowd hype, trying to dictate things. I said, boy, get your behind off the stage. And it was crazy because I was looking at the comments. People was not here for Trey Songz. They would say, boo, tomato, take your lost points. Why you brought him out? We don't want to see Tremaine. He sounded horrible. I was like, people was letting his behind up. And I was with it. I was with it because I said, what is this? What is this? I didn't like it. Latoya, you must regret that. You must regret the day that you left me. What the fuck I'm trying to say? You must regret the day that you left me. You must regret the day that you left me. Trying to get back. I was like, oh, it's that. Baby, come over, then come over. Come over. Yeah, it was a nice little song. Obviously, Tommy did his Sweet Lady, like the big hit, Sweet Lady. Why you gonna act like that? Sign of Love Making, Zodiac Signs, and a lot of their songs. So I think they did a good job back and forth. If I had to choose someone who won the verses for me, me personally, I like that Tank did a production. Not only that he was singing, he had people come out. He's in the background. He doing ad-libs and lab libs, and he was giving performance. he didn't do too much about going to costume changes and whatnot. He stayed on stage. He did that, and he also did a lot of long sets. Because I don't know, it was because the other side didn't have much, so he was carrying more, or he just was going over time and whatnot. Because when it's coming to Tyrese, I was at feel like Tyrese, you could have did longer with your songs and your sets and sing out and do more. I think Tyrese brought Chingy out for that one song they had together, but that's the only person I think he brought out on his side. Most of the people that came out was mostly for Tank, and he brought some artists and some songs that gave us like, oh snap, I enjoyed it. And now after that they had all that, because I think at one point Tyreek left the stage. So I said, what happened? I said he went back, he left the stage, and he was gone for a while. I think he came back on stage because I guess somebody told him that he left the building, but apparently he went to do some interviews. It wasn't, and he came back on stage, and that's that. After that, they had like a little quick little interview at the end. But then we was watching it, and it went private. It got cut off. So I said, "What happened? Y'all cut us off? We wanted to hear the rest of it. Rest of what happened." But yeah, I would say Tank did his job. He did his thing. I would say he won, in my opinion, because everything he came out. He lost brownie points with the Trey Songz thing, but overall, I like that, and I would give Tyrese props that, though he didn't bring much people out, he did sung his heart out and he sung his songs. So I appreciate that. But the only thing about it, I was liking that the bickering back and forth between sets, they were doing too much talking and throwing jabs. That was not funny at all. And it would take us a while. I would take us so long between songs. Like, I wanted them to go back and back and back, and not all these theatrics and dramatics. They are, and that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say about the verses. So hope y'all watch the verses. If y'all watch my replay, y'all let me know down below in the comment section who y'all enjoyed in the verses. Do you enjoy the Tyreek? Do you enjoy the Tank? Do you have a winner? Do you just want to enjoy the show? Like I said, it was nice. I wish the audience would have been more lively. But other than that, they did a okay job. Okay job. Now, we don't have any more people will come out and do voices because, it was very heavily doing the panorama time, which is great because, people, artists was home. We had much going on. So the verse was created for us to really listen and reminisce to the songs to get people, make people, the artists know, to show people they artistry. And then they became a mainstream thing. And then after a while, it dropped down. And then it just been stagnant throughout the years. But so that was that. That was the verses. Let's get into some of these topics and whatnot. Hope people come in and interact with me. If not, let's just get into it. So let's start with this thing. Hey, Sam Boo, what's going on? Did you watch the verses last night? Let me see. Where is it? I know I had it. Oh, here we go. The topics in no particular order, so I'm just going to talk about what's come out. I have various topics to talk about. All right, so I know that's right. Nah, I only see one verses and nobody topping the locks. Oh, okay, I hear that. So Taylor, hope I say her name right, Taylor Frankie Paul, was supposed to be on a new season of The Bachelorette. It was supposed to air this week, but ABC canceled the show because of a surface clip that came up. So apparently, after I was doing some research to figure out what's happening, Frankie Paul is basically one a main star in a Sequel Wives Mormon. I said the title wrong, whatever. Y'all know it's on Hulu, and she's like the main star on that show, but a wreck, a total wreck, not like dramatics out there doing the most, and she's star, and so because of that, this DV situation was talked about on that show. Now I never watched the show, but this information I got from it. It was talked about on that show about this case that the video came out. It was about that, and then she was getting charges, and she pled guilty for something, and whatnot. But she always going back to this ex named Dakota, and they be having this on and off kind of tumultuous, toxic relationship with each other. So I think they may do things with other couples, but that's it in there. However, this was not like a secret thing. This is like a public thing that was going on during her and at the time and whatnot. The video that we had seen recently was from 2023, but I don't know, it was like a public record or it was sealed, and then all of a sudden, now that we know she wants to be a bachelor, this video came out. Y'all correct me wrong. I'm trying. That's what's like. This is details I got gathered. And then now that people seen it, we had seen that she was her ex at the time, or her ex in the video was going back and forth, right? And she was like the aggressor. I think she made it that she was the aggressor, and then apparently, a minor child was hurt in the video. And because of that, people seen that, we said, oh my God, how she will be a bachelor, how she will be a bachelorette, and all that stuff like that. So because of that, ABC pulled it off. So let me see. I know you got more. Something feels off about this feels off. Because he bragged about smashing and making her late to the bachelor. Then instead of getting his child and getting alone, he waited for her to get back, and allegedly she had a boyfriend from the show who was messing with someone on the show, and voila. Yes. Because everybody trying to see, and all of a sudden, when she about to become in a mainstream and might be another show, this video just surfaced. So people allegedly think that he might leak it, or somebody in his team or whatever that leaked this video to shame her. But my thing is like, ABC, I don't like, you could not know this was happening. You know for a fact that she had this domestic violence, and I guess she charged and she pled guilty and all that stuff going on. So you did not know that this video was out there, or you was hoping that we would not see it, and then y'all was using her for ratings because the Bachelorette and the Bachelorette show was dying. Anyway, the ratings wasn't all high for those shows, so you wanted somebody that that would go garnish viewership, which that's a network. That's what they do. They want ratings. They want money, so they're gonna probably pick someone that might be a problematic in another show that will garnish ratings, that people will say, oh my God, she's on Bachelorette, let's see her come over here. Because, that's how it goes. A lot of these shows, like the Traders and stuff like that, they can see all these celebrities from other shows, and you might know them from there, and then, they come on another show, everybody flock over there. So I guess that's what they're hoping. But the fact that this was out there, the video did not surface back then, but it came out of nowhere here, and people backlash, which I feel like, yes. And people got problematic stuff like this and whatnot, a child got hurt, I don't want to see them on my screen and like that. And there's a lot of things, but like a lot of those freaking shows, they know what they be doing when they do the background search, but they're just hoping that we just overlook and they can just watch the show. And I said, nah, we can't. We got time for that. And not just Bachelorette. I think a lot of shows, like Love Island, a lot of things, and it's like you be getting problematic people, and then you wondering why people bring this stuff up. So I was like, ABC, you must have to know the degree of this was happening before y'all do it. Because y'all was not, if y'all didn't care then, why pull the show now? I mean, fortunately, allegedly, she's still getting paid for it. So I guess she ain't hurting for it. It's just that we won't be seeing the season. Yeah, it did platform Colton Line, so and that widow who wouldn't leave on. Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's one of the people. I'm saying he got a problematic past, did problematic stuff, but y'all still had him on. So I was like, y'all need to stop doing that. But they don't want to stop unless people make backlash and make another backlash, and that's when they want to take action. I say, y'all need to do that, do better. You can get people that still garnish wage agree with you for your show, but don't have much problematic past on life. Ooh. Oh, allegedly one of the guys was the drug driver who injured Madison. Oh my God, that season was crazy. So I was like, I don't know how she is in the sequel, Wives of Mormon, but I think they going on the next season. I think it's season 4 right now, and we see how that goes. But let me read this thing because I agree with a lot of points in this slide. ABC didn't cancel The Bachelorette because they were concerned. They canceled it because we saw the video. A licensed therapist on what reality TV actually costs. ABC didn't miss the red flags. The red flags was the pitch. They cast a woman who was on probation for aggravated assault. They opened Mormon Wives season 1 with a body cam footage that the same arrest. Yes, this was the one they was talking about. They built 4 seasons of television on her volatility, her toxic relationship, and her inability to stop the cycle. And then they made her the Bachelorette, their Hail Mary for the dying franchise because she generates great ratings. There is abuse at every level of the story. The religious system she was raised in, the relationship she can't get out of, the violence she has engaged in herself, and the industry that looked at all of it and saw a franchise opportunity. This is what happens when someone who is visibly unwell gets platformed instead of supported, monetized instead of helped, and drop the moment the thing they've been profiting from threatens the brand. I mean, they don't care. Oh, the men on Sequel Lives are all doing messy stuff right now. Chad, I heard a lot of things about that show. Swingers, doing things, messing around each other, all that stuff. So I was like, I guess it's no surprise why they wanted to feature somebody who's on that show. In an interview before the premiere, the Bachelorette showrunner describes why he wanted to cast Taylor. He told Vulture she has no ability to really lie. Everything is really authentic. All the truth just comes out. So she just basically said, "Yes, I did this. This was happening. Yeah, well, and that's what it is. Take it or leave it." But is that honesty or is that trauma? Is that authenticity or a complete absence of protective barriers? Is that someone who's refreshingly real or someone who's never learned how to take care of themselves, of herself? The line wasn't drawn at harm; it was drawn at visibility. Yeah, I feel like if we never seen that video, they would have kept on going with that freaking show. They're dumping the woman and trying to make it so they can't talk. Yeah, exactly. Okay, they riding on the backs of the woman. So they messy them damn selves. and they had nothing room to talk. After the show was pulled, TV executives told what's going on out there? Told Vulture the real concern wasn't what had happened already happened. It was the fear of what else is out there that may be coming out. And y'all already know what was out there that may be coming out. So this is not a vetted problem, is it? Or Mormon wives, her instability is the product. On The Bachelorette, it's a liability. Taylor has real accountability in her own life. What's on the video is serious, and those children deserve safety above everything else, but they never cared about her or her children's safety. You don't build a franchise for someone's unraveling and then go and get to court and surprise when they unravel. I agree. Like I said, they didn't care. They didn't care because they do all this. ABC, Disney. I think Disney owns ABC. Y'all don't hear this? They wait till I do loud. Then they want to be all loud. It was quiet all day. But they knew what they was doing by having her. Now there's no more. Now they try to figure out who they could catch as a bachelorette to save the show. I said, I don't know who you catch. I don't even watch the show anyway. But I just wanted to mention this because I was like, this was crazy that how they had this girl, filmed the whole season, it was about to come out, and then they just took it off because this video just surfaced. Which they knew all along this was what it was. It's just that we seeing it, and now we have talk. Yeah, that's what I say, right? You hear it, right? That's not what needs to make the delivery all louder. Share all my video. Any last thoughts for Taylor? Because we're about to move on to the next person. Talk about the verses. All right. Let's see what's the next topic I want to talk about. Okay, let's do this. How many of y'all watch Beauty in Black? I watched that show. I gotta catch up on it. Oh no. What happened? I have to read it because it's kind of small. All right. Let's play the audio of what he says, and then we get into the conversation. So those of y'all know, Xavier Smalls is he's one of the actors on Tyler Perry's show on Netflix called Beauty in the Black. And he plays Angel, who is a troubled person who got a teenager at the time, got trouble in the law, and a corrupted judge and police officer took them in and made them strippers to pay off their debt. Because they stole something from people and everything. They got in trouble, got caught. Instead of taking them straight to jail, they probably was taken to sell themselves, basically, to pay off the money. And they work under Julez and Norman, who runs the strip club. And Angel is Kimmy's and, Rain, good friends from back in the day of childhood. And he also worked in the club, and he was hired by Julez, who is the head family of the beauty company. And he's dying, like he's sickly, but he is the main person. And Julez don't really like his son being gay and everything, or homophobic, but he is secretly crushing on Angel. So he be hiring Angel, and Angel like dances for him and stuff like that. And then he's like basically kind of like tricking him out a little bit and whatnot, because he's infatuated by Angel and whatnot. All Angel had to do what he wants and to satisfy his curiosity, and he will set him up for life, whatever it is. But Angel, at some point, feel type of way about that. But he just had to do what he had to do because this guy got money. So he's dancing in front of him and do a lot of stuff. I said all that to say because what the fuck when he got on figure social media and then show his whole behind. That's why I say these people don't glorify them when you see them on TV or they playing something like game pay role or whatever it is, whatever role they play in. Because it's like they will always usually show their behinds. So take it or leave it when you see them on screen and whatnot. Unless you know they support us or you support the community or do or whatever other things you do, just take them at it with us. And they even all that great of an actor anyway. For a unicorn figure online, shoot himself in the foot by speaking some craziness on about community, who going to hell, who's sinning, and all that stuff. I said, I love to just take one part of the Bible and almost amplify it and just ignore everything else because you feel type of way about that. If that's the case, you shouldn't even take that role. Actors got morality clause. There are some actors who will not play gay roles or any kind of roles that they want. We have an actor that say he will not take a role that do any romantic scenes with any other females because he don't want to kiss nobody else but his wife. So it's like you have a choice will you want to play or not. So I said all that. Let me listen to what he says. So bear with me. Let me get oh no.
Yes, God does love you, right? But he loves all his children. Whether you're an atheist, whether you curse him, whether you live in sin, whether you drunk, smoke weed, whether you do whatever, he still loves you, right? But he'll send you to hell because when you die, there's only two places, right? And if you live in sin on this earth, he's so holy, he's so grand beyond our imagination. You can't kick it with him in heaven. Not because Mariah Chavo got loose again. You got to time better. Not because he doesn't love you, but because he's so holy. He can't dwell with unholy people, and that goes for other sinners, scoffers, mockers, liars, all things that are an abomination. It's not just the LGBT. It's if you're drunk, like if you're an alcoholic, like he wouldn't send me to hell. Yes, God does. If you are a murderer, like these are all sins that God doesn't tolerate. If you are a murderer, like these are all like he wouldn't send me to hell. Yes, God.
So basically, he's saying the LGBTQ people community is a sin, and you'll go to hell because God loves all his children, but you'll go to hell because it's a sin and whatnot. And then he meant to say other things that's sin and whatnot, God doesn't like. But I would say you figured out one thing, and then you want to mention that. I said that based on your logic, everybody going to hell. That's what you basically saying. Yes, I met him. Yeah, what's his name? He always played the villain roles. Everybody going to hell. But then you want to pinpoint one community. So what prompted you to say that? Exactly. Go to hell. So if you judging somebody, who's you? Say God this, God that. I said that's what I'm saying. God do stupidness when you do things. You say stupid things like that, and then you get the backlash. Especially when you in your early your career. Like, come on now. What make you think anybody else gonna try to hire you after you say things like that? And I forget, not one with Tyler Perry, but you in Tyler Perry production. unless you plan to stay working with him, you better clean your act together. Now he did apology. Whether or not you believe his apology or not, because it's like I think he only apologized because he got the backlash. But let's say you hope he mean it and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, people just love to take one thing or something, ignore everything else. Adultery is a sin. Judging is sin. Child before wedlock, they say that's sin in the Bible. A lot of stuff in the Bible that says sinning. But don't pinpoint one thing and say we're going to hell. And then he said God love all his children and he judges and he won't say you in heaven if he does this and this, that. I said, so what make you? And then you took a role like that. If you feel type of way, you should have just denied that. You didn't even take that role. So this is his apology where he says, after looking back at what I said on Instagram Live, I have taken the time to listen, really listen through very different eyes and ears to understand why some people felt judged and dismissed. I understand now how my approach may have lacked the love, humility, and awareness that I believe God's called us to have. Since the resurface of the clip, some very smart people who care greatly about me have helped me truly understand how hurtful my words were and the damage they could have created. They shared their perspective with me and corrected me in love. They did not condemn me, but instead helped me gain greater insight and understanding. They also made me aware of some horrible things that have happened in the past, including the suicide rates among gay teens, stories of people like Tyler Clementi, and the 9-year-old boy Jamel Miles. They helped me better understand that in some parts of this world, people are still bullied, harmed, and even killed because they are gay. Hearing these stories helped me see more clearly why my words can carry so much weight, allowing me to very clear about my heart and intentions. Allow me to be very clear about my heart's intention. Nothing I shared was meant to condemn or harm anyone. Every human being deserves dignity, compassion, and most importantly, love. I take full accountability for the fact that the damage done by my words outweighs the intent behind them. I truly regret that my words caused pain, and I pray that you are able to see my heart in the midst of all of this. My faith and teaches me that God loves every single person deeply, and I want my life and my words to reflect that love. I appreciate my friends, especially those in the LGBTQ plus community who care enough about me to speak honestly and help me see things from their perspective. I am still learning, and I will continue to learn and grow. I am truly sorry for any pain or hurt that my words caused. Please do not let anyone make you feel less than, including me. I will do better. You better. You better, because it's like at the end of the day, whatever. You may have your thing, but to say that the whole community gonna be going to hell, condemned, because we sinning and all that stuff, I said, why do you care so much? And why you feel like to take the need to go on your Instagram to say all that? It's like sometimes y'all need to think about what y'all do before y'all get on social media and say it. You could have talked about your love of God and whatnot, and this what. And first of all, what prompted you to say all that anyway? You don't get brownie points, and you had to listen to people's stories and stuff like that. I said it's been out there. Okay, so hopefully he learned his lesson. And said we gotta say, but it's ridiculous. Ooh. Any last thoughts on him before we move on? Because he done. I'm done with him. Speaking of, let's get into the Joel Smith of it all. Joel's and the Tommy and the club, because I got a lot of things to say about that. Because what people doing? I got some things in both sides, in his part and the club promoter. And then we're gonna talk about him and Tommy thing too. Cause yeah, he gonna need to. Nobody want to deal with those dusty people anymore. We do know he got a firefighter show coming out. I can't wait to see that. Even though I don't really care about his stories like that, but I love to see the eye candy he be showing. That's all I watch it. At the no, there's nothing else. He know how to cast the eye candy. All shades and colors. All right. So those who don't know, Jewel Smith, Solange's son, Beyonce nephew, Mama Tina grandson, and all that stuff like that, was hired and was booked to host or make appearance in a gay club. Sometimes, people get paid to make appearance in clubs to promote attendance and get people out there to show up, to show out. They used to host, they used to say things on the mic, they may take pictures and whatnot. It's basically making an appearance. And sometimes they do interviews and so whatnot. Now, I know people be having they having a little questioning of him and his sexuality. That's how I look at it. There, he's a 20-year-old boy. He do what he want to do. Wherever he is, wherever he is. I don't care, but I don't like the infatuation, and that's one thing I don't really like about people in the community. They had this infatuation to try to, and not in just a community, anybody infatuated to try to figure out somebody's sexuality, what he is, what they do, what they don't do, how they like, and whatnot. And also to think that because he might make appearance, you might have an idea that he might get down or whatnot. Or you're infatuated that you are like him and you like the aesthetics. It's usually, and it's always like that. Like NLE Chopper, people been questioned about his sexuality, even though he might be comfortable who he is, enjoy the company and whatnot, or to get money. But they always be questioning him, even though he keeps saying it straight. He had to come out saying this and whatnot. I said whatever. But it's always deception to box people into the thing and assume that and keep putting a label on them. That's to let people be. Folks have a weird obsession with their family. Yeah, they do. They do. They're very obsessed. Very obsessed. That's how y'all need to just let it go. Let it go. Stop it. So he was I don't know who club of but gay magazines mentioned it, and they hired him to go make an appearance in the club. He promoted this, and what he did, he also did an interview and whatnot. He came, he showed up, he took their money, came and show up, and was basically isolated himself from the rest of the people in the community. He didn't want to interact with nobody there. He didn't want to do nothing. He didn't want to get no shout out. He didn't want to do the interview. All that stuff supposed to be was in the contract that he was supposed to do all that, and he didn't want to do none of that. He came with 20 women deep. I don't know who was doing that for. Like, it was a gay event. Why are you coming with 20 women deep? Like, who you was connecting them with? Who you were trying to impress? It's like that. So all that was said and done. So it came out on social media, and it was like some backlash that he came out. He didn't want to do an interview. He didn't want to do none of that. They paid him. They felt upset about him not reneging on his promise and whatnot. They was kind of like putting him in test to see how he could be an ally and showcase him and whatnot. And I say, y'all need to stop doing that. First of all, stop hiring heterosexual people who you infatuated with or whatnot and hoping they become your ally or whatnot because you like who they are or you're infatuated by their looks to host and promote events when you already have people in the community that you can hire and pay to even come and do these events. And sometimes you don't even freaking you don't even praise them, even hire them to do these things, appearances. But then you hire these heterosexual people, and then you get upset when they show their behinds. Stop doing that. Go from within. Get people from within in your own community. Promote them. Big them up. They're out there. But no, y'all want to go after the people who you may not have a chance with, or y'all had a session about them. So, Julez, you a young guy in the business and whatnot. It's not a good look for you to take people money and then renege on a contract and then you put forth. And whatnot. If you was not comfortable in being around gay people or in this capacity or in a gay event, you should have never took a job. But him being 21 young, the money motivated him. So he took it, he took their money, came there, and that's that. But business-wise, you burn your bridges by doing things like that. Because now people will feel like, oh, he coming in, he could take the money, and then what if he renege and say he changed his mind about the contract or whatever deal they had, and then that's that. So if you your brand, because I think he's doing modeling right now, if this is your brand, your reputation precedes you, and you don't want to do things like this and burn your bridges now, hope other people learn their lesson and not going after him to make club appearances and gay events like that. Don't do that. And don't do that and hire him and hope that he could prove his allyship. That's not how ally works. Because I didn't mention something online saying that, oh, well, we hire him. We was hoping that he would prove himself to be an ally. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And we don't want to condemn no homosexual people and all that stuff like that. But I said, stop testing people and hoping that they will pass the test because you automatically will fail. You will automatically fail. You will fail if you try to secretly test someone. They're hoping they pass. First of all, what made you think he was the ally of the community when he never displayed anything beforehand before you hire him? That's good for anybody. You don't hire a person to speak at your event, to be a guest no speaker, and they do not promote or they showcase what you are promoting. It's just like me. I'm pro-choice. I'm all for women's rights to do what they want for their body and everything. Let's say, for example, if I wasn't that, and I showcase I put nothing out there that I'm pro-choice or celebrate or I appreciate women and they right the choice and all that stuff, and I'm against the laws. What if I never display that on my platform? And then somebody hired me to be a guest no speaker for the event. And I get up that figure's podium and I show my whole behind and talk about is you gonna be going to hell. I condemn y'all. Y'all should never do that. Women go is crazy and women should not kill children and all that stuff. You know, I was like, you should carry terms and you carry terms, you kill a child, you're a murderer. If I said all that, people will say, who the hell hired him to get on stage? So you gonna blame the person. So yes, you gonna blame the person who hired you or the promoter or the planner or whatever the event to hire the person knowing that they display nothing. So you got this young boy questioning about his sexuality, infatuated by him, being a heterosexual man, going to stage and whatnot. So him doing that, taking the money was messed up in his business wise. And hopefully that he need to learn his lesson that you can't be doing this and burn your bridges by taking a contract, taking people money and not fulfilling your contract. That's one. And if you was uncomfortable, you should never take the job. Two, the promoters, you should not be hiring people and they do not show any allyship or voice about the community. Um, when laws is being passed, they rally behind us. They showcase that by their action, by their words, but do social media, do advocacy work, do charity work. If they don't showcase that, then we don't need to be hiring them to prove that they're ally. That's not no. You got to make sure they already won before that. So if he never really showcased, he never really displayed to you that what he does this and he support us, then you should never hire him in the first place. And that's the people that behind Game Magazine, whatever it is, y'all should know better. Y'all should know better. Hold on, let me move this real quick because I gotta say what they had to say. So they say, despite everything that happened on our live, we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss a heterosexual celebrity who show up for the LGBTQ community for the first time. You don't truly know who someone is until they're given the opportunity to prove it. Unfortunately, the allyship test was failed in real time. Allyship is earned, not given. First of all, allyship should be proven before you hire them. So no, why are we hiring heterosexual people to be showing up for the events and they did not prove they are allies? And they spoke up and they do things to show us, then you hire them. Otherwise, why not go people in your own community and hire them to host and be appearances and events? But no, y'all don't want to promote and showcase people who are already in community with their music and stuff like that. Y'all condemn them, but want to big up people who probably displayed problematic behaviors. So it's ridiculous. Game Magazine, y'all messed up by hiring this boy. Julez, you should never take the job, but he was uncomfortable. Both parties failed and y'all played each other. So moving forward, nobody's in this event should not be hiring people who's not showing their ally. If they not show their ally, you should not hire them at all. Don't care how popular they are and what you are, because you're gonna have this happening again. So you better not get him again or get anybody you do not know for sure they're ally. And you can tell if someone ally not based on how they move and how they act or how they showcase by their media accounts or what they do advocacy and anything. You can see that. If you don't see that, do not hire them. Now, with that being said, let's do this next thing. So with all that, everybody been questioning his bisexuality for a while now, and I said I don't give a damn. This boy is young anyway, so I don't know why I be obsessed about him. Let him live his life and do what he needs to do. However, I think he had a one night with Tommy Lee. Now Tommy, I said this girl, y'all know Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. She was scrap. She always looked like she was drunk all the time. Might have an alcohol problem. She stays fighting. She's on baddies right now. I say, you 40-something years old and still on baddies? Like, girl, stop it. Just like that ain't none too. Fighting and whatnot. So she was out with Joel. So I said, oh, he trying to showcase that he liked the woman. I said, whatever, you had to show, you had to prove nothing to us, boy. Sure. But seeing this, people say, oh my gosh, and Tom was getting some backlash. And I said, rightfully so. This boy is 20 years old. She is older than his mom. We see in the club, she straddled him. I think in the night, at the end of the night, they kissed and whatnot. And I said, what is going on? See, people trying to normalize this age gap dating or relationship. Yes, maybe it was a one night of fun, Hey, whenever they both grown, it's not illegal. Yes, don't burn our head that they are adults, they legal. Yes, we understand, but it's not about the legality, it's about morality. It's weird. It is weird. It gross. You be 40 something years old trying to mess with a 20 something years old date. If it's just fun, whatever. But it's still weird. So we seen that. It says go buzzing. They said, Tommy, you shouldn't be doing this. This is weird. This is not. It's young thing. And I said, okay, yeah, it's too much. So then she get online and saying, let me show you what she said. She get online and say, well, she said, y'all mad at me, but wasn't Beyonce 18 and Jay-Z 30 when they first met? I thought so. I said, so I don't know what kind of point you were trying to prove, Tommy, but we remember that time when we know that Jay-Z and Beyonce were first started dating. We discussed that then too. How Jay-Z was too old and he getting with Beyonce when she was a teenager, just like that. He started dating her when she was young. We said that was kind of weird anyway. Unfortunately, we can't do nothing about that because we can't dictate. We can't tell them what they can do or not do. But we've had our opinions about their relationship as well. So you will not prove a point. At the same time, people, even though it's not wrong, it just look weird and predatory-ish when you have somebody in their 40s, somebody in their 30s, mess with someone who's just like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. And so what is you doing? You can't get them at your own age? Because it becomes more of manipulation. It becomes more of controlling, especially with the older man and the younger guy. It comes like controlling, manipulation, trying to trap them and whatnot. And usually the older woman with a younger boy is more like fun. But that could be a part of that as well. So we said it then about their relationship. And we said it about them now. No, she can't. So I was like, Tommy, like, girl, stop it. Because you're not proving no damn point. And people say, oh, well, Tommy got a point. I said, no, she had a point. Because we talked about that relationship about Jay-Z, Beyonce for a while anyway. And how their age gap was very prevalent when he first was trying to get with her. So you ain't no different. You get the backlash just like he probably got one at the time. And even today, people still talk about the age disparity. But unfortunately, she's in 40s. I think he's closer to 60s, something like that, or whatnot. So you can't do nothing about that. They got kids, they got children and everything together. They're not leaving each other. So, but then she said, oh, it was fun. I'm not the type of girl. I said, girl, what type of girl you thought you was? Because you are that type of girl. So what you talking about? It been fun. I'm not that type of girl. I said, girl, shut up. Yes, you are. You are that type of girl. So what are you talking about? Because if you wasn't that type of girl, you wouldn't try to entertain him. Now, we don't know you had like a little funny. You got your little box locked. I don't know. But, ew. I said, oh, well. Tommy. Get over yourself, girl. Get over yourself. And I think she does things because she just always would like to be the limelight. She always wants somebody to talk about her. Tommy does things so people can talk about her. Now, I don't think this was a serious relationship. I think she just had fun with him for a little time, man. But She know by doing this, she was gonna get some buzzing going on. For him, he think this is fun. Oh, I got a young, older woman liking me. Thinking I can get some. Maybe he could prove himself. You have to prove nothing. Chill. Go on. Go ahead, boy. Anything else about Julez? Because I'm done with him. Like, I thought he was dating her daughter, to be honest. That's what I was thinking. I said, not you, Tommy. Yeah, because I said, boy, you can't get nobody your age. Or nobody your age don't want you after you did with that, after you try to allegedly leak that thing by side. What's his name? Sky? Sky? Because they didn't want to deal with you. Because he's problematic. And he could probably be a FB. Y'all know that is. I don't care, age 21. Because they start young. They start young. He could be an FB. Probably is. But enough of Julez. So I hope you learned this lesson. Hope they gave people magazine or club promoters stop doing that bull crap. Somebody got to prove themselves to be an ally before you hire them. And whatnot. And don't book this boy anymore. And don't book anybody else who's heterosexuals who don't show they're part of the community. You got plenty of people in the community who are artists, celebrities like that you could have booked and learned your lesson. Do better. And Tommy, good, get your life together. Get your life together. I mean, let's move on. Let's talk about this EJ guy. Now, I just gonna talk about that one clip because I ain't watched the whole thing because I don't really care about EJ and something like that. But EJ had a little clip that's buzzing around on social media. If you listen to what he's saying, I understand what he said at that moment, but then he lose people when he starts saying he's better than people. Like he better than women or stuff like that, look better than women. I said, well, you know what, boy, ain't no way, shape, or form that you would ever be better than a woman in a dress like that. No, you don't give that. You don't give that. You got better in your look department being a femme man. But no, you're not giving better in any shape, way, or form. So that's when you start losing people. Yes, I said it. Oh, why do they keep doing that? Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me get the clip real quick. Hold on. Let me take this off real quick. Sure. Hope they'll flag that. I had it already prepared and they took it off. Dusty.
The biggest storylines on your spinoff was, you and your sister liking the same guy.
Honestly, that is ultimately what got the show picked up. But also, in terms of the gender and sexualities and stuff like that, it was very important because that happens. You know, I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
You know, it's just, I think, like, if you ask any of the girls, like, they'll tell you the same. And I think they're just labels. You know, that's what, like, I don't care what, you know, like, I'm dating someone. I'm like, I don't care what you identify as or what you call yourself, as long as you are happy being who you are. But no, to be honest, it's like, that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. And also, like, they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, back, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here like the rest of us are. You know, it's just, it's always, but it's, I never really understood it until now, because before, when I would go and I just was like, there's something about this room. It's like, it's almost like they don't want me here. Like, I'm not really in it here, because I'm not presenting as a man. I'm not presenting in that way.
And to be clear, the gay community room.
Yeah.
Your own community. Yeah.
But it's not like a shameful thing, or just like, oh, they're mean to me. But it's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure. But like, these are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
So, so has it always been that way for you in terms of when it comes to men? Has it always been what some people consider the straight guy always being the one that would approach you?
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, you know, women for most of their life, or like up until then, for sure. Absolutely. It has always been that way, but now it's like even more so, now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way, because also, like, it's like my energy is that.
Okay, so you listen to what EJ's saying. Basically, he's saying that in a gay club or gay community with a predominantly gay people, those guys want masculine. They want boys, gay men want boys who are masculine. Because you know this whole thing about gay community, they big up masculinity. The femme you are, the most not desirable you are in the gay community, which is crazy, but you know, each his own. But predominantly, yes, masculine, boy, presenting, all that stuff, that's what you want. So him being more feminine, and woman presenting, he won't be desired or attracted by the guys in the gay community, in the gay rooms. Now, whereas in the straight rooms, heterosexual men are more attracted to more femininity and femme, and women attracted people. So, and then again, I think that he's more into the loosely paper community. That's who he attracted, because he ain't attracting no nooks. He attracting the ninjas. So I think he's tracking the other guy, the opposite kind of part of him. And you know, he's the elite. You know, got money, rich, the environment he go into. Those are people that he's probably attracting more. So understand when he's saying that. Because yes, it is like that in the community. Mostly they want the boys and they want the masculine, so the pants and this and the many saggage jeans or whatever it is, and if you don't act girly and whatnot, they more attracted to you. Whereas in the other counterpart, when you're more femme, yes, they're more attracted to those guys, are attracted to femme adjacent and women. So that's what he said. When you know couple areas, he get more attracted and more people in that. He attracts those kind of people. And whereas in the community, he just like a friend or whatnot. They're not featuring girls and say, oh, we don't want to date you or be attracted to you. You feminine. And women presented. So when he said that, get it, because that is the reality. That is the reality. That is. Those who know me, I'm in the community myself, and you don't have to be straight or masculine. You don't have to be all feminine. Just be yourself. Because I'm in between myself. Not all feminine, not all masculine. In between myself. You just who you are. I just want a boy who dress like pants, sneakers, this, that, regular thing. No. That's attracted to more fem with a guy. Nothing wrong with that. But that's what I'm attracted to. But you don't have to be all masculine either. But I'm just saying that most people, they don't track that. So that's what he's saying. But then you start losing people when you start saying that, oh, I look better than a woman, natural born women, in a dress or a skirt or anything. I look better than them, and that's who I'm better than a woman there. So that's I'm getting more attention of the woman counterpart. And I said, no, no, you don't. And that's where you start losing people. Because EJ was before, what he is now, he's now getting better in his presentable look and more be feminine and more women than he was before. And he said in the clip, now is more of getting attraction for the straight man than when I was before, because now I'm more presentable in the feminine part. And that's what it is. But don't start doing that, oh, I'm better than you. And you know, sometimes it's vice versa. Women think that feel like a woman. And I don't think he's trans. I think he just mostly fem. Yeah, he just dressing, because I don't think he say it. Did he ever say he? No, I don't think he just more fem presentable. Like dress feminine clothes, just like that and whatnot. But yes, they're not. They're not really. They're not really straight. Because when you're straight, yeah, they might be bi or pan or whatnot. Because really straight men don't. They like women. They like women. But more so natural born women, mostly. So when he says straight, I think he's saying that guys who are attracted to women. And women are more feminine. So that's what they're attracted to. That's what he meant straight. But to be honest, most of them who can see them don't really see, can tell like maybe he's not fully. So like that. So, or straight. You're not pulling the straight guys like you saying. And if you all try to pull the straight one, that's why I keep putting up air quotes, and mostly the loosely people. Because they more free in dealing with people who they want to deal with. They don't give a damn who judged them or not. So they're not 100% straight. And no, nothing wrong with EJ, but when you can look at EJ, you can tell it's a guy who's more feminine. And he's not like transitioning himself to be a female, but he's a more feminine presented person. So that's that. I was like, I had to say that, but I would say you lost people when you say you look better than the women and all that stuff. And nah. Yes. So that's all I say. You got anything else about EJ, or what else you got from it? Because that was the whole big controversial thing. Because what I understand what he's saying, but then he's saying that you start better, that you all better. I said, nah, that's what you start losing people. Just think with that. We understand the concept because we seen it ourselves. I seen it. A lot of people seen it. We all know what he's trying to say, but you're not really pulling the straights like you say you are. And if they attracted to you, they attracted to you because of your femininity and how you look. Now in the bedroom, when they find out that you have a piece down there like them, then that's a different story. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. Because most men in the club, they say a woman presented and they won't track you, so they gonna ask you, pull down your pants, let me see if you got a vagina or not. They ain't gonna ask you that. Like that and there. Probably private, but not really there. So they attracted to no femininity. And that's what it is. We got 2 more topics. I don't want to hold y'all up. Let's talk about this Amy D real quick. Amy and Dwight drama real quick. And then we're going to end it with the Usher thing. And we get out of here. Because I don't know what's happening. These PR statements where everybody trying to do for Diddy and trying not to say nothing about him. I said, yeah, get out of my face with this. But let's talk about this Amy thing real quick. Amy Luciano and Dwight Howard voice and whatnot. So this past, I know I'm kind of late on things, so I think this happened last week or something like that, but it doesn't matter. Amy came on social media crying because apparently, allegedly, I mean, she said it, but I won't say allegedly. Allegedly, CPS came to her house and took her stepdaughter, because Dwight allegedly was doing drugs and exposed the child, and the cops was called and come to the premises numerous times within a month's time span, within a few months time span. And eventually they took the child. So she's crying, saying they needed help. She wanted to leave because I think, remember, she said she filed last time, like earlier her marriage, people were trying to convince her to stay, saying stay with him, we do sick of hell, all that. So I said, y'all people, you need to leave those people alone. When you know something's wrong and you know something's up, especially you know that person's not trying to do anything to help better himself. Because listen, this allegations about him doing substances and be under the influence, it's not old, it's not new. This been years. And Royce, the one, the first one who told us about this, she just was the first one who told us about this a while ago. But people don't want to believe her because people was like making it seem like because, you know, most of it, because he a man and he got money, people always want to condemn the woman and think that she's crazy or she's delusional or something like that, not knowing that she been telling the truth all this time. And it's because you like him and because he's a player or athlete and she's a wife, you gonna more believe him and then her, even though he has a consistent behavior throughout the years of doing this. Especially most of the time as well, when she kept saying things or people thought that she was complicit. But while I say no, I think most of the time that she kept shut her up, taking her to court numerous times, telling her she can't say this, this, all that stuff like that. So while Royce was going through battles and battles and battles with this guy for years. And so finally, you know, they finally separated, but they got divorced and not together. But she's been saying about this for a while. But then when Royce would try to tell Amy not to go down that road and try to help her, normal fashion, they said, oh, you jealous, you want my life, you bitter, you crazy, shut the hell up. And like I said, Amy, what make you think you're going to be the different person? What make you think you're going to be the better outliner? Like, even always think that they were better than the last one. And not knowing that the reviews, you don't need to struggle like the last one. They went through it, so you have to go through it. Because it never, 9 out of 10 times, guys don't change. But since you want access, you're going to condemn the last one. So she said all that, and then I guess online, the way we're trying to get the son or something to lie on her and whatnot, and she wasn't mad at the son because, you know, he was influenced by the father to lie. And when I saw she's going through all of that, and she said, this was helping, this was destroying my marriage. She showed the substance online, and then she said she just crying, need help, and now All that said and done. So the voice came and said what she had to say, and then after all that said and done, after she came up forward and spoke her experience about the what happened to her stepchild and everything, he went to file for divorce. I said, "Oh shit, ain't that something?" He came at us crying to us about help from this guy, and then he filed a divorce on you, and then allegedly kicking you out the house. The man she got. I know that's true now. That's allegedly. And I said, "Oh, child, that's messed up." So I said, "Amy, even when you bought the news that you was married this guy," I said, "Girl, why? Why? We were telling you at social media. I think you was trying to make it seem like we was all hating on you." I said, "Girl, no, we trying to tell you, do not go down that road with him. Don't." Especially not too long ago, he got this little case going on with the boy. Do we got any updates on that? I don't think we got any updates on that. You got the case going on not so long ago with him, with the kitty, and all that stuff. And he'll be and also be yeah, my God, I'm here, hugging up. Did she got the right one? Knowing that he's gonna be the same guy as everybody experiencing about. So voice came on social media. She said, "Who's laughing? This is sad as F. This kid's never should have been in the custody, and she know that. Look at the past. She allowed it. She condoned it. She participated in it. Crying now because she caught him lying on her is selfish as F. If it was about the kids, she should have opened her damn mouth a long time ago instead of leaving them for weeks to fend for themselves while you went on trips overseas." Ooh. This girl, the last girl, the one before that, called me crazy. This girl, the last girl, the one before that, called me a liar. This girl, the last girl, the one before that, called me bitter. This girl, the last girl, the one before that, laughed at my downfall and threw their dreams in my face as mine turned into nightmares. Now I expected to be the biggest person. I'm 5'2". Nah, I'm reclaiming my time. I know that's my voice. You can kiss my behind with that. You shouldn't glow. Why are you laughing at someone's downfall? You shouldn't have been quiet. Bullish. No one is laughing. This is about the children. You sounded like Trumpies with the MSC files. Tell me, please, when is the right time to scream, "I told you so," when children are in danger? Get the F out of here with that BS. I know that's right. Stay your foot on these necks. I know the voice is saying shit. I'm gonna say what I gotta say because y'all called me crazy for years. Now his voice is innocent. No, I'm gonna say, but at the same time, but when it comes to that guy and how much money he had and assets and like that, I can understand that the power that he had to shut her up and make her complacent to a lot of things and years of silencing, going to courts and fighting him and trying to get off his thumb and the control that he had, use his assets and money because they had a child together. So it was like crazy. And then the allegations, the stuff that he been doing for years and years has not stopped. So for Amy, for you to get here and understand it's troublesome, it's sad that the kids got taken away. But yes, the children should not be under his thumb. It shouldn't be. But the fact that he got custody and I don't know, the courts is probably favoring him and something like that, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So hope your kids is good. You are good, and you leave the situation for well. And sometimes people is out there. The evidence is out there. So next woman who try to get with him or whatnot, or guy or whatever it is, please read the reviews. It's out there for a reason. You don't need to struggle to prove that you're different. You don't need to. Any thoughts by Amy and Dwight? I might miss some things. Oh, I wanted to play the audio, but you know what? I mentioned it. I want to listen to audio for the people who didn't listen to it. happened? Oh, shit, I gotta eat something. I'm hungry. Bear with me, y'all. I'm getting it. It's crazy. I had everything prepared. Imagine arguing with a fight. Exactly. You try to tell them the truth, but they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to listen to you. So they want to learn the hard way. Yeah, I say so much stuff. I know it's here. I'm gonna go back because it was a while ago. Yeah.
This is not Dwight. This is Trump. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. This is not him. This is not Dwight. This is trauma. This is everything he's been through, but just not the kids. I have to advocate for the kids. And I can't go down for what he's doing. So they took our daughter. And I'm just sitting there like, do I speak up? Do I be quiet? What do I do? But I caught this man. I caught this man forcing our 12-year-old son to cover for him, his son, to cover for him. He had him lying. I recorded it. He was coaching our son to lie on me, and I had to record it. And it's this. I try to tell everybody he needs some help, and ain't nobody would have listened because he got the money. I can say whatever y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help, and this is it. This is not him. This is not. I'm ready to sign in paper.
Oh, no. They gonna delete that. Oh, child. Well, Amy, you're gonna be free from him soon, so hopefully this amicable thing. Hope he will put you through the ringer like he did Royce for years and years to take you to court. All right. The last thing we'll talk about as we get out of here is Usher. Usher. Sometimes you wish people don't say nothing and keep their mouth shut. You better off to say nothing and keep your mouth shut. So people have no negative thing to say about you. But then again, I realized, you know what? Maybe you should say something. So now people can know where you stand and where we stand with you. So he came out recently and say that he would not say anything negative about Diddy, and Diddy was misrepresented. Now, boy, Usher, man, in what way capacity has he been misrepresented? So when y'all say stupid stuff like that, now we gotta look at you. Because it was nothing misrepresented. It's nothing. We actually see who he actually is. and what he's capable of. After years of hearing stories about him, we see that. So it's nothing misrepresentative. Now listen to what he had to say, and we're going to talk about it. Hold up. Let me get this out the way first. Oh my gosh. Take it off first. Gosh.
I mean, this might be a big. Now, stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I mean, this might be a bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created. And I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him as legacy. Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era. Absolutely. What'd you learn? Puff was a mentor but he was like you had that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally in hip hop. Now, you can't turn on the television and not see the influence of hip hop. That's right. But the people who actually made that appropriate and are the forefathers are people like Sean Combs. And not just in the great times that they had musically, but in the idea of being able to find ways to monetize culture and create something that was not just Black or white. It was colorless. It was green. That's who I see that man as.
What else?
Things. It was pretty wild.
Usher's past comments on Diddy now going viral.
These are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be.
In the wake of his former mentor's federal house raids.
I met Puffy a long time ago, around, 92.
Flash forward to 2016 on the Howard Stern show, the singer recalling his wild memories of living with Diddy, who now faces serious legal trouble, including sex trafficking allegations.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. It was pretty wild. There were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand.
The city helping Usher with his debut album alongside other soon-to-be music superstars. And in the backdrop, Diddy's hardcore lifestyle.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Julez, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about the. I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them. Puffy was scheduled to do my record. And, I went out to meet him. He was a really cool cat. He's actually coming up on a lot of different things. He had a few artists, but he was just getting started. Bad Boy was, really up and coming. And I just always known him as a hard worker. He did it. My first album, completed my first album. and we kept a friendship.
Despite the friendship, Usher admitting in his 2017 Oprah's Masterclass, his 13-year-old maturity at the time seemed to surpass his mentor.
We would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, like you just a little bit too intense. You know, you gotta relax. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be.
New York is a little bit too fast for me, you know, and I spent like a year here.
Meanwhile, Usher has yet to address Diddy's legal troubles. But back in his resurfaced interview, the father of four did tell Shock Jock Stern this.
Do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to puppy camp?
Hell no.
Somebody put that out there. I said, so why lie when we could put what you said about him before? And then you came up here and say that, oh, you had nothing negative to say about them when you did have negative to say about him, about how he did you, how you were so young, and he had you out here 13 years old. You shouldn't be exposed to a lot of these things when you're not supposed to be exposed of. And then you say you want to send your kids nowhere near what he does over at the camp. For you to say, and then you say you got nothing negative here, you want to focus on that, and then he misrepresented it. No, he's not. And it's crazy because it's crazy because you see a lot of guys, black men or whatever, will die on the hill for another black man, even though they did harm to another person, like Tory. We know clearly he did what he did to Megan, but people still would have lied for Tory. But they will all get online and condemn women. Why she did this? Why she did that? She shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, she did that. She was promiscuous. She's like that, but she did that. And all the critiques of a black woman, or women in general. But when it comes to a black man, I don't want to kick him while he's down. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing that. But yeah, he kicked someone when I was down, literally. When they was down, literally. Not paying people. Screw people over. Putting them in bad contracts. For years. And we all understand. The artist is one thing, but the person is another thing. And sometimes you can't separate the two. I know some people sometimes could separate the artists, who they are, and great artistry, but bad people. And you can separate the two. But sometimes it's too much that you cannot separate the two. It's one of the same. And I feel like this is one of the things. Diddy, and though, yes, he gave us great music. He gave us, back in the 90s, it was great. We do some good songs, good music and everything. But a lot of those people came out and shared their experience about him throughout the years. And it's now that we get more concrete evidence. But during the years, a lot of this stuff was coming out. That how he not paying them, how they screwed them over, how they making it work and not getting no money. And then the abuse is happening, and we finally see evidence of the abuse in Cassie and a lot of other people that we probably don't know of. So for you to come here in this interview and say that he's misrepresented it, that Usher, get out of here. Now, him, J. Cole came out, say something that he don't want to say much about Diddy or kick him out his down. That's his words. Carisha, I said, I don't believe you, Carisha. Like you come saying that you didn't have no experience like that with him. Whatever, girl. You want to say? I said, what is the campaign about Diddy? Like it's something we do know he did out earlier, but what is going on? Did he reach out to y'all and say you're gonna make a public statement about him or something? Because it just came out of nowhere and it's given something. Now I agree with you saying, like, I think they don't want to say too much about him because they know, did he know the skeletons lies? And he unhinged. He will leak stuff. He's unhinged. He don't care. Go against him, he will go against you. So that's why you don't want to say nothing negative about him. They say no, he's not misrepresented. And yes, he gave us great things, but it does not mean that he's a great person. It's not a good look for you, Usher. As though we probably like you and everything, but we not gonna forget how you was under his thumb for a while at some point. And you come out and saying this, people gonna look at you now and they condemning you. Like, why you say that? You should never came out and say anything. You should just let them answer that question. But now you say it. It's a good thing you said it because now we know where you stand. You chose to honor that. He is misrepresented. Yes, he worse than when we saw him. Exactly. He works. And they don't know how many other stuff we didn't know yet. He was a horrible individual. But we didn't know that because we go up and listen to the music. It's like R. Kelly. R. Kelly was a great artist. But what we know is that as the years come by, we know what he was doing, how the music was tied to his experience with the women. And now we can't separate. Now, you probably still listen bump his music. You probably still diss his music. Like, I don't have his music on my phone anymore. But when somebody playing at a party or something like that, I said, listen, it's the memories. It is what it is. But I don't feature him like that. It's like, Diddy, I don't feature him like that either. I probably have songs that he probably produced that's still on my phone. It is what it is. But him as an individual person, I don't rock with him. No. Nicki show her ass. All her songs delete on my phone. I don't got time for her. No. Sometimes you can't separate the two. It's tied together. So, Usher, this was not a good look for you. You should not even came out and say that. You should just you should not say nothing. But now you do it. And then for you to say you wouldn't even send your kids over there. That, and then we also know what's his name? Justin Bieber, how he got messed up early years by being under y'all. He's still not okay. Young boy, sexualized at an early age, get it in, be under your thumb. As successful as he was, he still had battle demons that he's going through. So, I would say it's great for y'all for not even saying that. But for y'all to say kick whatever down, I said y'all need to stop saying that statement. And y'all would love to down the hill for the black man, even though they do worse and wrong, but y'all would condemn a woman. And what's up with that? I'd rather you not say I won't answer the question, then you answer and say you don't kick around down. I said it's not kicking around down. This guy's not down. He did harm. Because now he's in prison. Now you don't kick. No, stop it. If it was your daughter, he would do that stuff to you. Y'all would have liked that. But we do know sometimes y'all don't want to condemn the person that you probably had some dealings with, because if he got evidence on you, you don't want that out there. So I guess that's what's happening. Because you don't need for you to say all that. But that was that. I was most disappointed with him. I said, damn, man. Like you, Usher, but you messed up for saying that, misrepresented. Boy, bye. And nobody forget about the good things or whatever he did or how he changed hip hop or what he did. But at the same time, in the backs of hurting many people, we cannot ignore that. It's like that Time documentary when I talked about weeks ago. We cannot ignore the people's experiences just because we had enjoyed the show. And as we older, we look back at it and realize how problematic some things were. Lying that they get these prizes and they didn't get these prizes. Knowing that they were going to have a hard time in the industry and they prepared them for that. Somebody SA on camera and then y'all exploring that instead of helping the girl. And though as some people, and I say you could have done like Eva or Takara and other girls that even though they didn't have negative experience, but they still hold heart and sympathy for the ones who did, and empathy for the ones who have done. And they say it's very terrible that these ladies went through that thing, and everybody needs to be held accountable. But even though they didn't have that experience, you could have went along that route. But no, you tell us he's misrepresented. Boy, bye. He's a horrible individual, and he should stay being horrible. And all y'all want to kiss his behind, Kalisha. I said, Kalisha, I don't know why you go up about defending him, because you was up here. And when he got that award, he acknowledged you yet. He even acknowledged you like once. Every time you want his validation online and stuff like that, he be like playing you. And we see in your face, but then you say that you didn't have experience like anybody else. I said, girl, go ahead. Okay, girl. Go ahead. That's your sport. That's your experience. That's what you want to say. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Anything else? I mean, there's a lot more that came out lately, but you know, you can say that for another time. But anything else that came out, anything that I missed, we'll talk about any stories any details that I have missed about any one of these stories I talked about today. If not, replay game. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Share this video. Tell me your thoughts about some of the topics I discussed. And we'll be here again next week. I got to catch up on Bell Collective. Go catch up on Married to Medicine. I got to catch up on Divorce Sister. Divorce Sister, I think new season's out now. So I can't wait to see that. I may talk about Asian Attraction. I'm not going to talk about Love is Blind Sweden, because I like that song, but I ain't gonna talk about it. But I might talk about Asian Attraction if y'all interested in that. And then we gotta continue to finish the last 3 chapters of the book, and then we're gonna move on to the next book. So I'm enjoying that. So we got some things to discuss. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hope y'all enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. It's almost April. Can you believe it? It's almost April, y'all. It is almost April. The year is blowing. It needs to calm F down. This year needs to calm down. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. All right, later, y'all. Peace out.